Burkina Faso just experienced one of its deadliest attacks yet, and what's even more shocking is who might be behind it.
So breaking news, Burkina Faso is on attack. So yesterday, Burkina Faso was attacked by an Islam-affiliated group. But we actually know who is attacking Burkina Faso. And let me tell you, it is bloody because Burkina Faso has faced one of the largest casualty in an attack. And let me tell you, there are so many protests in France and Italy demanding Burkina Faso President Ibrahim Traoré to step down. Because these Western countries have not succeeded in putting Ibrahim Traoré down, now they have paid a jihadi group. And this jihadi group yesterday attacked a community in Burkina Faso, ending the lives of so many Burkinabés. Let me tell you, it's bloody. I don't want even you to see the videos that are coming from Burkina Faso. And this jihadi group is now saying that it will advance to Ouagadougou, the capital of Burkina Faso. Now, good news is that Ibrahim Traoré has not been touched. He's very safe, and he has sworn he's going to fight to the end and liberate Burkina Faso from Western power. Let us continue praying for Burkina Faso. Let us continue praying for Ibrahim Traoré.
On April 17th, a jihadist-affiliated group launched a brutal attack on a community in Burkina Faso, leaving dozens, perhaps hundreds, dead. This isn't just another insurgent strike. This, my friends, looks like a message. Reports claim the attackers are advancing toward Ouagadougou, the capital city. And while Burkina Faso's president, Ibrahim Traoré, remains safe for now, his nation is bleeding. Let's rewind. In 2022, 34-year-old Captain Ibrahim Traoré staged a military coup, ousting the previous junta that had also seized power through a coup. Why? Because of rising jihadist violence and corruption. Traoré presented himself as a patriot, a Pan-Africanist determined to liberate Burkina Faso from neo-colonial control, and that made him enemies, powerful ones. Here's where the story gets murky. The group that claimed responsibility has links to extremist networks, but there's growing speculation that foreign interests, yes, Western governments, may be fueling or funding these fighters indirectly. Why would they want him gone? Simple. Traoré's anti-Western stance threatens billions in foreign interests, gold mines, military bases, and influence in West Africa. This isn't just about Burkina Faso. Look at Mali, Niger, and Guinea. Young military-led governments are breaking ties with the West, kicking out French troops and cozying up to Russia and China. This is shaping up to be a proxy war, not between Burkina Faso and jihadists, but between new African nationalism and Western neo-colonial powers. President Traoré has vowed to fight back, but without stable international support and surrounded by enemies, internal and external, the road ahead looks dangerous. Still, he has strong support from parts of the population who see him as a new Thomas Sankara, a leader unafraid to speak truth to empire. This is more than just a regional conflict. What's happening in Burkina Faso is a front line in a much bigger war for Africa's future. And if you think it won't affect the rest of the world, you're not paying attention. The group that attacked the village in Burkina Faso remains unnamed in official reports, but insiders and regional analysts suggest they are an affiliate of either Jama'at Nasr al-Islam wal-Muslimin, JNIM, or ISIS in the Greater Sahara, ISGS, both active in the Sahel region. But here's where things get suspicious. These groups have been surprisingly well equipped, sometimes better armed than the national militaries they fight. So, where are they getting their weapons? Where are they getting their intel? Follow the money, follow the weapons, and all signs point to foreign state involvement, or at the very least, strategic negligence. France, Burkina Faso's former colonizer, has a long and controversial history in West Africa. Officially, France was there to combat terrorism. But many Burkinabé and citizens across the region saw it differently. France's military presence, coupled with control over the CFA franc currency and mining contracts, led many to accuse Paris of economic exploitation masked as security cooperation. When Traoré came to power, one of his first moves was to expel French troops. That didn't sit well with the French government or with powerful interests who've made fortunes in West African gold and uranium. And here's the kicker. Shortly after France left, Burkina Faso saw a surge in jihadist activity. Coincidence or retaliation? The U.S. and its NATO allies have long maintained a discreet presence in West Africa. Officially, they're tracking jihadist movements and securing humanitarian corridors, but leaked intelligence suggests a different game is being played. There are reports of unmanned drone flights, data intercepts, and even supply chain anomalies linking Western contractors to insurgent activity indirectly. In geopolitics, it's not uncommon to support your enemy's enemies, even if that means arming chaos in the short term to control outcomes in the long term. As Western powers pull out or get kicked out, Russia moves in. Through the infamous Wagner Group, Russia has become the new partner of choice for military regimes in Mali, Central African Republic, and now Burkina Faso. This scares the West, not just because Russia is gaining influence, but because it's doing so in countries rich in rare earth minerals, gold, and energy reserves, all critical in the new global economy. And some believe these attacks are designed to destabilize pro-Russian regimes. Think of it as asymmetric warfare. You don't send tanks, you fund militants. What's happening in Burkina Faso is not random. It's not just another terrorist attack. It's part of a silent war between the old world order and a rising bloc of defiant, independent-minded nations. Ibrahim Traoré represents more than a military leader. He's a symbol, a 36-year-old officer challenging the global status quo, and he's not alone. They're building a new alliance, free from Western command, and for that, the backlash will be fierce. What you're seeing now, that's just the beginning. The story of Burkina Faso isn't just theirs, it's ours too. What happens in West Africa affects everything from migration to global energy markets to the balance of power. The attack on Burkina Faso isn't just a crisis for one nation, it's a warning shot for all of Africa. What's happening in Ouagadougou today could happen in Bamako, Niamey, or Kinshasa tomorrow. This is no longer the time for silence. It's time for action. It's time for African nations to stand together, not as isolated states, but as a united front against a common threat: foreign interference and destabilization via jihadist proxies. Think back to the words of Thomas Sankara, Burkina Faso's revolutionary leader in the 1980s. He who feeds you, controls you. Or the dreams of Kwame Nkrumah, who called for a United States of Africa, a continent governed by its own interests, not those of distant empires. Traoré's fight is not just military, it's ideological. He's invoking that same spirit of resistance and independence. And now, it's time for other African leaders to answer that call. African nations could start by forming a Pan-African Security Pact, a joint military force dedicated to defending any member state under terrorist or foreign-backed attack. ECOWAS and the African Union have the frameworks. What's missing is the will, and perhaps the courage, to challenge foreign interests head-on. Imagine a West Africa where Nigeria, Ghana, Senegal, and Guinea all deploy peacekeepers to support Burkina Faso. Imagine an intelligence sharing network that dismantles jihadist cells before they strike. That's not just security, that's sovereignty in action. Unity won't come from the top down alone. It needs to rise from the streets, from young Africans who've had enough of puppet leaders, foreign control, and endless war. Online movements, student unions, tech hubs, farmers, activists, musicians, the African youth are already united in spirit. It's time to turn that spirit into structure. If you're watching this from Nairobi, Johannesburg, Dakar, or beyond, you are part of this moment. What happens in Burkina Faso is part of your future too. Africa stands at a crossroads. One path leads back to the same old story: divide and conquer, foreign control, instability. The other path? It's risky, it's dangerous, but it leads to something new: continental dignity and real independence. The question is, will African nations rise to the occasion, or will history repeat itself? To the world watching, understand this: Africa is not your chessboard. These are sovereign nations, not pawns. And to those funding the chaos, your game is being exposed. To the people of Burkina Faso, the world hears you. And to the rest of Africa, it's time to unite or be picked off one by one. The choice is now. Subscribe for more deep dives into the future of Africa. This isn't just news, it's the new world order being born.